Now you can start. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey everyone. I'm Omer. I'm from Silicon Bello team. We are building Pass3, and we are here with Jamal today. We are going to present our midpoint milestone progress. Let's just jump into it. So it's the product name is Pass3, and we aim to come up with a comprehensive and secure identity solution that can be universally applied across blockchain platforms. We are trying to solve inconsistent identity management across different blockchain services, and also, as you know, a person can have multiple public addresses without verification, which can be later on used for spamming or scamming purposes, like in any way to disturb the environment, the community, and inside the blockchain environment and everything, the products inside of it. So that's why we wanted to offer a universal identity solution leveraging OCR, NFC, and machine learning technologies. Users basically, this is configurable by clients, of course, but users provide face scan, passport scan, or ID scan, which by then verified automatically by a machine learning like the service provider that we will just mention in a second. And then if the scans match and pass the verification that we put for each client, and clients can still, as I said, configure these requirements and verifications, and then the zero knowledge proof is generated. And then no password or face data is stored on our side and only utilized for the validation with the zero knowledge proof later on. And then the Pass3 integrates with existing identity solutions into a unified umbrella identity, streamlining the user interactions across platforms so that instead of creating multiple or like going through multiple KYC processes, you can actually use Pass3 verification. And you may think maybe at this point, like, what happens if you have a very old verification? This is still on the client side to configure. They can change the frequency of these checks with face or documentation through when you wanted to log in or use their applications or services. And then it's like users can link existing identity information from other apps to their Pass3 identity, verify through face and passport scans. And finally, Pass3 serves as an identity layer for public addresses, catering various verification needs from liveness checks to document scans, as just mentioned here. And as a next step, we mentioned, like in our proposal, the midpoint milestones we mentioned were highly dependent and related to technical capabilities. And I can mention them here. As you can also see, we are using infrastructure with AWS Cloud, like we use a variety of their products. As you can see here, I don't want to go through each of them one by one because they're very trivial, I guess. For the backend side, we are using our backend, the main business logic and other face and document related functionality as an Oracle. And we have like an agreement, and like we are taking a service from the face stack. I don't know if you know about it, but it's a pretty kind of famous and well-known identity, the face scan and document scan provider. So we are using 3D liveness checks so that we know that the user at that point is actual person in front of the camera, not a photo, not a something else, not a doll, whatever. And then we use that face scan to match with the rest of the faces that we stored for only in the face tag, which is, by the way, closed source. So we cannot even deal with this. We cannot access this data freely as or manipulate this data or processing. And then we can also match this with the passport or ID scan, and then put this stuff on top and extract the data from all of these and do the verifications. And on top of that, when we have all of this stuff, we prompt our zk program that creates the proofs using the data that comes from the Oracle and checks the data integrity, of course. And then we use ProtoKit to have more throughput to do these processes and use its state to actually be able to access this data later on to verify this data. And then we have this front-end side that users can actually interact with. so that they can, submit their faces, documents, and etc., or get redirected back to their clients, the apps they are using. And for the midpoint milestone, we also added demo client with the front end and back end, so that Pass3 can be, to show you that Pass3 integration can be used with OAuth 2 authorization code flow, so that we can also provide authorization and identity service to Web2 services as well. And I think it's now demo time. Jamal, would you like to share your screen?
Yep. Thanks so much. I'm sharing my screen. I believe you can see it now.
Yeah, I can see it. I think everyone else can see it then.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's get started with the demo. So as we already mentioned, we have a demo app, and this is deployed and running in the Vercel. And now I want to, as a user, I want to use the kitchen sink and I want to log in with Pass3. So I just click this, and this is a page that you might come across or might be familiar with the other providers like social providers, Google, Facebook, and so on. And now this is my first time visit to this application, to Pass3. So I will try to log in with my wallet, and it should fail as we expect. And here, while logging in, we are signing a message with some information that makes sure the client, the user, is trying to log into the client. And then we will also have some content here about the terms and conditions and some legal stuff. So it's not clear yet. That's why we are depending. We are waiting for it. But yeah, the overall idea is here users can check which app they are trying to log in. And then when you sign the message, we are getting the user to the next step, or we can't, because this is login. And as I said, this is my first time trying to log in, so I can't. And this piece of page is not the best for UX, but this is in our roadmap, so we will give the proper feedback to the users. So as I'm a first-time user, I will now try to register. And here we have step-by-step approach, which can be also customizable by the clients. So as Ömer already highlighted, it might be depending on the clients. Some might ask for ID scan, some not, and so on. So now again, we are signing the message, this time with some registration content, so users can again accept their terms and conditions. And after signing this message, we are now triggering the face scan flow. So users click again this face scan button, and we are now opening the UI that's to guide the user about the face scan. So here you are seeing me, and I'm live, I'm here. And now I will just complete this process. And then, yes. So this will now process the liveness, and as you can see, liveness is confirmed. And now the next step is to prepare scan the ID documents. So here, as you can see, now I will scan my ID, and as you can get, I don't want to get it exposed, so I will just do it in my other screen, and meanwhile you can see the process here. Just give me a second. Now I'm doing that in the other page.
There's the elevator music playing in the behind right now, as you can hear.
Yes, so I scanned my front of my ID, and now just doing the back. So we'll be back in a second.
So after the ID scan, by the way, our provider also provides a functionality for users to actually adjust their data. And I think that part will not be necessary when we enable the NFC step, so that the data can be actually directly checked. But at that point now, they are being able to correct the OCR scan. And then after that step, it can be also corrected by our side as well, like the checked.
Yes. Yes, so after I completed the scan both from my face and ID as well. And now we are in the last step. And here we are now creating the proofs on the backend sides. And it is, as you know, taking a bit of time to create the proofs. So we are keeping the user here and hopefully, if I get this proof, I will be redirected to the initial application that I triggered this login flow. So let's wait for a few seconds more. And yeah, so again, this was the steps. Then this is the data that users see on your site. So we have some proof data, and now creating the proof. Let's give it a few seconds more. Otherwise, it will fail by itself because of timeout issue. Okay, just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think I can try to log in again. So yeah, the idea is we register the user, but yeah, the redirection is taking time, so it's not happening now. Sometimes the proof is being created quickly, but unfortunately not now. So I'm just gonna start the login flow because yeah, I guess we want to save the redirection. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's done. Yeah. So the created proof is. Like we created a proof and we got the user back to the initial application. And then this application is already made a call to their backend to get the data from our service. And as you can see, with this code from the Pass3 returned, the backend of this demo application made a request to our service, get the vault ID, and then now they can do whatever they want with the user's information. And then also let me try to show you the login flow again because I already registered. So when I try to log in, I can come here and now sign the message. And now basically it will do the same and user is logged in again. So yeah, this was the demo that we want to show you how the users can interact with Pass3, how can they scan their faces and IDs and so on. So yeah, this was the overall flow.
Can you also go through a little bit of the code, Jamal?
Yes, give me a second.
And also maybe we can take care of the question from Mate there. What is the proof proving? Maybe you can show it in the chain story as well.
Yes, so here it is. Yeah. All right, so we have the repo called Pass3 Mina chain, and what we are proving is we basically have a function called prove identity in zk program, and the zk program is getting data from the Oracle. In this case, the Oracle is our S3 backend, which is already configured to serve this data after user completes the onboarding, like scanning their face scans and IDs and so on. And then we get the data from the users, like for the proof, and then we validate the signature from Oracle, and then we are basically making sure that the user is over 18, the user is unique, and the user is not sanctioned, is not located in one of the sanctioned countries, and so on. So these are the data that we currently are validating, and as I satisfied all of these requirements, like I'm over 18, unique, and not a sanctioned country, so the verification worked without any issues. And then, yeah, we also, yeah, okay, so this was we were replacing the proto-kits, and in proto-kits modules, we are currently, yeah, the naming is not the best. We are working on the improve this parts, but once we are getting the proof from the users, we are validating this, and then we are updating the states with the user data. And just to highlight, the verify is true, or the verify is validating the proof, and we are making sure that the data is authenticated and unique and so on. And so yeah, this was the overall flow we have, and we also have the front end application, and I guess sorry, maybe I can mention about the integrating. As we already highlighted, we deployed this application to AWS. It's running with ECS with the container services, Dockerized images, The only thing we, during the demo, we run it in local because we are still working on to deploy it in the cloud. So that's will also follow up with the next iterations. Maybe I can hand it over back again to Ömer.
Oh, just to show the like maybe a little bit of the front end repository and also the demo application, how the OAuth 2 that we set up there works. We mentioned that how it works, but maybe we can also show it, especially in the demo application.
Yes, just give me a second. Okay, my computer is suffering a bit. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's here. So we are using React on the front end app side, and we are basically having these steps. Again, it is purely configurable, and we have the registration and login flows. And what we do with the wallet connect part is pretty straightforward to get the user connect with their sign message, and then we are starting the sessions on the backend side with the given flow and so on. And then from the demo application side, it should be opening here. Yeah. And yeah, so maybe you are already familiar with the Turbo. So we were using one of the starter templates from Turbo, and the idea is here basically we had a front-end application which has the buttons to integrate with the Pass3, like how you can start the login and so on. And then the important part is the backend side, because the case is after user is authenticated in the Pass3, we are returning a authorization code to the application who initiated the login flow. So here, the application is getting this authorization code and then asking again to validate this. So I'm not, I guess, not have the recent changes, but yeah, this is pointing now our API.
Yeah. It's locally is not up to date probably, but the application you were using is using our backend.
Yeah. So yeah, this was the overall flow. The important part is that this is happening in the backend side. So this data is also being authenticated against the clients and so on. All right. So
yeah, I can maybe take over for the last step, last part.
Thank you.
Please feel free to jump as well. One sec. Slide. Okay. So for the next steps, also like we wanted to mention a little bit of the next steps. So we want to get this scaling and stabilization going for the already existing work. I can also maybe merge this with the third one, that improve the unhappy path handling, because right now we are mostly focused on making the things happen, to be honest. And some of the technical issues are not covered, like what if face tag server goes down, how to handle, is there like a purgatory state for the users, or what, this kind of stuff that we want to also focus on, because if this is going to be like a very common identity provider, then we should be able to handle those cases as well. The protokit is not production ready on our side. We are still working on deploying on the cloud. As you can see, UI UX will need some improvements. We want to add more comprehensive test suites. It is now in one of our goals to add an NFC scan, option for document scan. We discovered that it's not very convenient. There is no convenient way to actually be able to do very usable and supported NFC scan functionality on browsers. So that's why we are considering having this in an application or extend to in an application so that we can use NFC as well. Of course, for the clients that wants to integrate with us, API documentation, front-end SDKs, and Postman collection. Also, there will be more work depending on the client's requirements for the, let's say, admin panel, like client configuration panels, clients onboarding setups, flows, and also more into what ways they can integrate with us, because we also one of our main goals is to be able to make this verification process available on the Web3 as well, not just Web2 with OAuth 2, but also on the Web3. So that's also one of our main goals. And I think that's it. We are, now we can take questions, I guess.
Thank you. Any questions for Pass3? I guess you answered Matei's question, right? Like about the proof.
Yep, I think so. I mean, we can still follow up, but yeah, we are basically validating the user uniqueness and some predefined set of information.
All right. Then thank you again for the presentation, and good luck.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we'll have Mina names, and let me